Well, everybody, I'm going to do a spoiler review, very, very spoiler review of Masters of the Air Episode 6. So just be warned, if you don't want to hear spoilers for the show, turn it off now. A lot of spoilers coming up. So, again, I will let you have fair warning here. A lot of spoilers for Episode 6, Masters of the Air. Okay? So, if you gotta leave now, I'm giving you some time before I start delving into this. Again, a lot of spoilers here for Episode 6, Masters of the Air. Okay, let's dive into it. So, basically, this was like right after all the planes went down and only one of them came back from the mission from, what is it, the 100th Airborne Division. Only one plane came back, so it was basically a kind of change of pace episode. It started out that we were showing, I guess, Rosie. His name is, it's like a shortened version of his last name. I think he said his name was like Rosefeld or something. I don't know. There was a kind of funny joke in it where someone asked him, "So do you ride horses?" And he's like, "I'm a Jew from Brooklyn. I don't ride horses." So that was kind of funny. And you know, I'm an Italian, Irish, and German from New York originally, and I don't ride horses. You know, I don't really care for horses. I mean, I like to watch them race in the races, and I think they're pretty and majestic, and I love horses. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not gonna ride them. I would be too scared. Anyway, so that, you know, they're doing some, you know, R&R in the I guess they bring them to Oxford or whatever, this little like dormitory where they get to hang out, and Crosby, I think he has feelings for this his roommate, who is a woman who's an officer as well. She's British, and but it doesn't go anywhere because he's married, you know. But I think he has feelings for her, and there's only 10 episodes, so they're up to episode 6, so I really don't see anything happening there. So they show that, and then they show so they show Crosby and Rosie doing his thing, and I gotta tell you, and I hope this doesn't sound wrong at all, or whatever, but the woman that was working at the dormitory, she was pretty hot. Yeah, I thought so. The one that brought Rosie breakfast. Yeah, I kind of liked her. Anyway, so it was basically an R&R for those guys, but then the second part of the episode was Buck, not Bucky, but Buck, the guy with the dark hair and the mustache, and it was about him. He parachuted down into Germany, and he's basically trying to survive, basically, and ends up almost getting killed like a bunch of times. At one point, they're boarding all the prisoners of wars onto a German Nazi train to get to another, I guess, the biggest camp, the biggest prisoner of war camp. My dad had to bring up a Hogan's Heroes joke, because that was about a German prisoner of war camp. Funny thing is, the Colonel Klink and all those guys were actually Holocaust survivors. They weren't even really Nazis. I mean, it was really funny that that show. I liked it, but you know, this is not. I told my dad, you know, this is serious. This is a drama. It's not really. I don't think we're going to see Colonel Klink stuff going on in the episode. So yeah, a lot of it took place about him surviving Germany and almost getting killed by these guys who were going to like kill him and like bury him, and he got away and German soldiers took him. And I, when he first got interrogated, when Buck first got interrogated, the guy kept on bringing up Bucky, the guy that you thought was dead. And this is where the spoilers come in, guys. When you thought Bucky was dead, you kept bringing him up, and I'm like, why does he keep bringing him up? What is that all about? Hold on, let me Okay, I had to stop there for a little bit. My dad was walking the dog, and my dad's really loud. He's deaf and Italian. I mean, and from New York, so it's just it is what it is. But anyway, so yeah, the guy in the camp, in the first camp, kept bringing out the of Bucky to Buck, and I was like, okay, something's up here. I kind of knew Bucky didn't die because, like, if you read the history books in Google, it says that he survived the war. But a lot of people didn't know that. I spoiled some people on my message board about that. So they finally get him to a prisoner of war camp, like the biggest one in like the Nazis had. It was huge. And as they're walking in, Buck is walking in with the other guys. They're all like calling their names and say, "Hey, Buck, hey, it's me." And he's like seeing all his buddies that like crash landed and made it. And then finally the reveal. Bucky, his buddy Bucky from when he went down in that episode, they didn't show it. He's there. And then he says something like, "I got stories to tell you," something like that. But so that's the big reveal, that Bucky is alive. So we'll see what happens. I mean, I don't know if both of them survive it, but Bucky in the history book survived it. So we'll see if Buck survives it as well. And then it kind of ends with a somber note of all the guys getting back into the planes after an R&R just resting for like 5 days. So yeah, it ends on a somber note where they're getting back into the planes and the missions and stuff, and right as Rosie's about to get into the plane, he kind of gets nervous and he doesn't want to jump in at first, and he kind of taps on it, and then they all start tapping and they start to play a I think a Glenn Miller song, and that's how it ends. And then he closes the door to the plane and they're going on a mission, and you read the sign on the door, which I don't think they ever showed before on the show, and it says, "All you Jerrys, if you're reading this, be afraid, very afraid," or something like that, something of that nature. So that is the episode. Bucky's back. He's in a prisoner of war camp with Buck now, and he didn't die. So again, if you didn't want to hear that, there was a disclaimer at the beginning of the video, and I will put it in the title as well. But I'll say heavy spoilers for this episode. Heavy spoilers. Okay? So, that's it for now. I usually don't do a Friday video, but sometimes I do. I think I usually do a Masters of the Air episode. Like, not episode, but video. So let's just call this a Masters of the Air Friday, video. And usually my videos come out. Okay, and one more thing. I want to show you guys. My grandfather was in the 740th Tank Battalion, U.S. Army. Daredevil tankers. I want to show you his flag that was draped over his coffin when he died. And just to give you one last little thing, that's the pool there. Okay, this is it here. That's my grandfather's flag from the Army. when he died. And on here, you got the Mets bottle with the lights from my mom. And then you got this one, which is the Yankees for me. And also the Yankee hat. And, oh, and that is, if you could see that, I don't know if the camera's pointing at that. Oh, wait. Oh, wait, there we go. That was my grandfather's gravestone in California somewhere. Okay, that'll be it for now. Later, guys.